All right, YouTube, we back at you again. This time we're going to actually do the What's Hot segment. We were supposed to append this segment with the interview segment we have with my man AC Clark. But as most of our videos, the procedure is with most of our videos, we have a predicted time. It always goes over because we love boxing that much. So, what's hot? First up, we got to talk about him. Even though he's retired or supposedly retired, Floyd Money Mayweather. There's a rumor that he wants to come back and bless the new MGM arena that's being built in New York that will be available April of next year. Coincidentally, around the same date as when Manny Pacquiao is scheduled to fight TBA to be announced, whoever he decides, right? That leads into Manny Pacquiao basically running his mouth, snitching. You know what I'm saying? I know Floyd was like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But Manny just can't keep his mouth closed. So he's basically talking about how he is currently in negotiations with Floyd Mayweather for that April 9th matchup at the new MGM arena. My man Sess, what do you think about this? Do you think this is just a rumor, or do you think this is gonna come to reality?
I wouldn't doubt it if it came to reality. You know, Floyd. I don't think Floyd is retired, and I think a lot of boxing fans feel the same way. Reason being is he still hasn't relinquished any of his belts. I mean,
Good point.
Yep. He still has, I believe all of his titles, maybe except for one, I'm not sure. But, the thing about that is I don't mind Floyd coming back. I don't mind him fighting in the new arena or anything like that. But retire afterwards, please. Sign a one-fight contract and just retire after that. I'm a Mayweather fan. I love what he does in the ring. I love his skill. I like everything about the dude, as far as his in-the-ring performance. The only thing is, without Floyd in boxing, it gives all of us a chance to be boxing fans again.
Right.
And that's what I really miss about boxing. You hear so much bullshit, and you go back and forth all the time with these guys about one particular fighter, and that's Floyd Mayweather. Without Floyd in boxing, you just get the sense that the divisions are opening up in a way, and you got everybody wanting to fight everybody. Mm-hmm. With Floyd, you got everybody sort of, trying to stay away from everybody because they don't want to lose and screw up their Mayweather payday or their Mayweather shot. So like I said, I don't mind Floyd coming back. If he fights Pacquiao, it is what it is. I definitely won't order it this time. I think because I don't see the fight being any different. Right. Floyd is not gonna sell out for anybody.
Right.
That's the one thing about Floyd is that he is who he is. The fans know who he is. And the only thing you can do if you're not a fan of his is wish that he loses. That's it. So, I don't mind it. Like I said, man, come back for one fight Manny, and then please bow out gracefully. Matter of fact, just leave the belts in the ring.
Leave them in there. Don't even take them motherfuckers home.
Don't even take them home, because then you might start feeling differently on the ride to the house.
Yeah.
Leave them in the ring and just say, I'm done.
I 100% agree. I don't want to see him come back, bro.
Oh, okay.
Floyd is my favorite fighter. I don't give a fuck who knows. Call me a Flomo, whatever the fuck that dumb gay shit is. Whatever. He's my favorite fighter of this era. But I don't want to see him come back.
Yeah.
If he's coming back to get the 50th win to break Rocky Marciano's record, I don't want him doing that against Manny Pacquiao. Because I can see a robbery in place, the same type of robbery we saw, only for you true boxing heads out there, with Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks. Yep. Larry Holmes was 49-0. He was the most hated boxer at the time, just like Floyd Mayweather is. He went in there. I had him beating Michael Spinks. They gave the decision to Michael Spinks, which crushed his ability to break Rocky Marciano's record. I see the same thing possibly happening if he comes back and fights a guy like Manny Pacquiao's caliber for that 50th fight. We already got people out there basically saying that the one-sided first fight was actually not so one-sided and Manny Pacquiao won. So that tells me right there that they would easily try to rob this motherfucker if he came back for the 50th against Manny Pacquiao. I'm not trying to see that shit. I think he's already done what he can do. For Floyd to be my number one guy and ever, he needed to fight way more fights than 49. He needed to fight way more fights than 50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By far, I think Floyd is the best defensive fighter ever.
Okay.
He's just, to me, he's not the best fighter ever. You know what I'm saying? My number one is Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, the dude lost to Jake LaMotta, went back and fought him 5 more times and beat the shit out of him, right? But after he lost to Jake LaMotta, my man was like 112-1. That was his record. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking ridiculous. And then the 19 losses he has back in the day, you know what I'm saying? The mob controlled boxing. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, black people were second-tier citizens. So basically, he had to do what the fuck he was told. So he laid down in a lot of his fights. That's why you saw him fighting well over his prime when he shouldn't have been fighting, because the mob had control of the sport. If he actually would have been left alone, like pretty much today majority of the fighters are, he probably would have never lost again. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, so Floyd, he can't be my number one guy. I got him in the top 5, and it's just like I said, he needed to fight way more fights than that. So I think he's done all he can do. I don't see any point to him coming back. If he does come back, I'm going to expect him to fight Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Demetrius Andrade, Arizlandi Lara. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to expect all those kinds of fights, and I know I'm not going to get them. So I'm not, just stay retired, brother. You know what I'm saying? You did what you did. Very successful black man. We hold you high, you know what I'm saying, because of what you've been able to do as a black man in America. Just go ahead and retire. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Just as simple as that.
Exactly, nothing more. Next topic. So we got Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter that was supposed to be scheduled, December of this year. Now is possibly being pushed back to January, and I've got wind of the reason. Greed. Apparently Keith Thurman feels he's worth more than what Al Heyman is willing to put on the table. Now, this is kind of fucking crazy, seeing how a guy like Andre Berto was guaranteed $4 million against Floyd Mayweather. Now, I know a lot of people are like, but that's against Floyd Mayweather. A lot of guys understand. Marcos Maidana only made $1 million in one of those fights. And this is a guy that was the champion at the time, right? And he's more successful at his division than at the 147-pound division than Andre Berto is. Actually, Andre Berto lost to Soto Carras, Guerrero. Who's the other guy he lost to? Victor Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? He was taking L's in a 3-year period of time, and then came back, fought a couple bums, knocked out Jose Cito Lopez, who I don't think is that much higher than a fucking bum in itself. You know what I'm saying? So he really didn't even do much to warrant a $4 million paycheck, even against Floyd Mayweather. So the fact that he was able to see those kind of figures, I know Keith Thurman is seeing some nice figures, B.
Oh yeah.
So what's the problem, Sess?
The only thing I can think of is, like you said, greed. Keith Thurman, please don't let the politics of boxing corrupt you.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what's really irritating me about a lot of these young fighters, man. They want to make millions, but guess what? You gotta start somewhere. Keith Thurman still hasn't fought an A-level fighter. You know, he doesn't have any A-level fighters on his resume. He's put in some great performances against the guys he's been in there with. But at the same time, you know, you can make an argument for Robert Guerrero. Was he the same Guerrero that he was, you know, when he fought Andre Berto? You know, was he in that type of mindset? Did he have that type of warrior spirit in him at that point in time? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Like I said, you can make an argument for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's got, you know, Guerrero, but nonetheless, Guerrero is a good name on his record, but there's nobody else.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't understand, why would you want more money when I'm sure, and let me say this, the one thing about us on this show, we don't count anybody else's money.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's making very good for where he is in his career.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my thing, man. These guys, they need to understand you got to start somewhere. You know, you're not gonna fight a guy and then get $20 million for fighting this guy. You know, just because, you know, he's got a good name too. And you can even argue that Porter is on the same in terms of, you know, A side, B side. Porter's probably on the same level as Keith Thurman. So it's not like you're fighting a Floyd Mayweather where, you know, you're going to be guaranteed this much and all of that. So come on, Keith, fight Porter, beat him, and then take yourself into the type of paydays that you want and the type of paydays that you're making an argument for. But as of right now, you got to beat the competition first.
Oh.
You know, so that's what really bothers me, man. I'm sick and tired of these guys talking about these Mayweather paydays and they want to get paid this, they want to get paid that.
Put the work in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We understand the dedication that you guys have and the product that you put in the ring. But Floyd did not get where he's at from fighting one guy for this much. You know, he had to put the work in, he had to market himself, and he did that.
Yeah.
You know? So, like I said, Keith Thurman has always caught my ear when he says, I got an O, and I ain't afraid to let it go. Stuff like that, that captivates the fans. That makes them, you know, believe, oh man, this dude is entertaining, and he's not afraid to fight anybody. But then when you take a back step and you say, wait a minute, now I'll let that O go, but I'm gonna need, you know, somewhere in the upper 10 millions to do it. You know, come on, Keith.
Yeah. I mean, see, even Floyd had to fight a guy who could potentially give him an L for a purse that he probably wasn't happy with because he saw that his opponent was going to be getting more of the money. And that's against Oscar De La Hoya, right?
Yep.
So Floyd had to put the work in. I think the reason why I say that is, I think the problem is the risk that Keith Thurman is putting himself into in a fight with Sean Porter. But see, this is what comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to be the man, you got to beat these guys who are perceived to be on your fucking level. There is no other way around it unless your name's Canelo. And I won't even say GGG because he's not the man. We've already seen the 150K buys. He's not the man. You know what I'm saying? I think if they put Keith Thurman and Sean Porter on pay-per-view, that would do more than 150K buys. You know what I'm saying? So they won't do it because they're PBC fighters. The whole point of that is to put them on regular television. So, but unless your name is Canelo, you're backed by Oscar De La Hoya, you're not going to get the publicity that you're looking for by not fighting the top guys in your fucking division. Okay?
Absolutely.
So, you're right. You made a good point. You said they're probably on the same level as far as A side, B side. I would give him a very slight edge over Sean Porter only because he's still undefeated. Sean Porter was beaten, lost his belt, but he was a champion, so that actually catapults Sean Porter back up. That's why it's that's why it's a very literally like this, B. Thurman Porter, you know what I'm saying? Literally. But even in that scenario, you can't be saying I need this much currency to get in the ring with this guy. You can't call the shots, B. You're still, even though he's a champion, right? He's still seen as a guy who's trying to make a name in the sport.
Absolutely.
So with that said, you can't call the fucking shots, man.
Exactly.
Next topic. Man, my man is on the back of so many fucking milk cartons, dog. It's crazy, B. My man got milk carton ads. My man is on Unsolved Mysteries. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
They need to make a book. Fuck Waldo, nigga. Where the fuck is Mikey Garcia? You know what I'm saying? You see Mikey in the crowd with the motherfucking striped white and red cap. You know what I'm saying? Find that nigga. Where's he at, B?
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Well, apparently he's been found, right? So he's basically saying, we all know that he's in his contract dispute with Top Rank. This is the longest contract dispute I've ever fucking heard of. It's even longer than Andre Ward's with Dan Goosen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But apparently he's come out and said, hey, I'll fight Terence Crawford. Just let me out of my contract after that fight. What do you think of that, man? Let me get my take real quick. I think that is a terrible decision. Mikey Garcia is a great fighter.
Yeah, he is. Very good.
I'm actually higher on him than a lot of other guys that have channels on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of other guys on YouTube basically say Mike Garcia is not that good. He's all right. You know, blah blah blah. One guy was actually pissed that people were calling him the next Mayweather. I don't agree with that, but I see why they're saying it. They're saying it because he's dominating the competition with ease. And these are guys who are supposed to be giving him tough fights, like Orlando Salido. You know, this isn't a GGG situation where before the fight we're saying, oh, Mikey Garcia knocks this guy out.
Easy.
Yeah, we weren't saying that with Mikey Garcia and Orlando Salido. And Mikey beat the brakes off that motherfucker until the damn fight was called off. It was like a technical decision. So he's beating guys that are perceived to give him challenges, right? And he's beating them easily. That's why people are saying he was the next Floyd Mayweather, not because of, you know, stylistically anything like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking excellent fight if Mikey was active.
Yeah.
He's not active. I love Bud Crawford. But I cannot say if he goes in there and beats the brakes off of Mikey, which he probably would, right? Mm-hmm. I can't give him 100% credit for that because Mikey's been out. I need Mikey to fight at least 4 fights before he gets in the ring with a Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is the real deal.
Yeah, he is.
And he's been out. Mikey Garcia, correct me if I'm wrong, YouTube, he's been out 2.5 years or going on 2 years because his last fight was January of 2014. So it's going on 2 years, B. And as I think his last fight was at 135.
I think so, yeah.
So you're asking him to move up on top of that? Yeah, because it was at 135 because he drained the shit out of himself. Remember? Yeah. He fucking was throwing up on the elevator back to his hotel room. So not only has he been out 2 years, but you're asking him to move up in weight as well and fight one of the best guys in that division? Nah, man, I don't want to see that fight right now. It's an excellent fight if Mikey's active. What do you think, boss?
And I absolutely agree with you, 2K. But you know what it tells me? It tells me that Mikey Garcia wants to be out of his contract extremely.
Fuck yeah. He's willing to give up that shit.
Exactly. Give up that to fight a guy as dangerous as Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
And he's been inactive. And he's moving up in weight. You know, all the points that you made, man, are valid when you talk about that fight. I mean, I wish for guys like Mikey Garcia who are extremely talented, man, and you just know if this guy was active, he would be a beast right now. Yep. And we would be seeing some great fights. I wish it was that easy to get out of a contract once you sign your name on a dotted line. In boxing, but it's not. You know, no matter, you know how bad the promoter's treating you or whatever. You know, once your name is on that bottom line, man, you know, you pretty much just signed your career away, your boxing life. I mean, you know, especially if the promoter is able to say, well, hey, look, I've been trying to get him these fights, he just doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing our part. He's not doing his part.
Yep.
So, and I'm almost certain that's what Top Rank is probably doing. You know, I don't think they're not offering him fights. I just think he does not want to be in the position he's in with Top Rank.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I like Garcia. I wasn't too high on him at first until I seen him training and stuff like that. And I said, man, you know, this motherfucker's talented.
Yeah,
you know,
he
he's got a good jab. He's a good boxer. You know, and he's one of those guys that can kind of do what he wants in the ring in terms of boxing or just letting his hands go.
Yeah.
You know, he's real technical, man. So I really feel for him. Because I miss him being in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, the last fight I seen him, man, it was a good fight. I can't remember the kid's name that he fought. Was it Rocky something?
Yeah, Roman Martinez.
Roman. Okay, why did I say Rocky? Roman Martinez.
I think that's his nickname actually.
Okay, it probably is. So it was a good fight, man. You know, I like the kid. Like I said, I can't say anything bad about him because when he gets in the ring, his performances are always, you know, good. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he can get out of that contract, man. But I don't want to see him get out of it by fighting Terence Crawford. Yeah. Right now, Terence Crawford beats the shit out of him.
Let that fight build up. I mean, if he goes to 140, yes. We got Victor Postal, we got Terence Crawford, we got Lamont Peterson, we got Adrian Broner. Let that shit build up, B. Let him fight De'Aaron John.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of his, I seriously believe he should get 4 fights, B, before he fights one of the top guys at 140. Being out almost 2 years, I don't give him. He's a great fighter. He was actually one of the fighters that I couldn't wait to see whenever his fights were announced. He was a fighter that I did not miss, but I still would not give him the same ability that I would give, say, an Andre Ward, who could come into the ring with a layoff and still dominate or possibly dominate a top fighter. Yeah. I don't give Mikey Garcia that ability. So I would like to see him fight especially a fucking Terence Crawford. So I would like to see him fight at least 4 guys before fighting one of those names that I just said. And you made a great point. You said Mikey must really want to get out of his contract.
Yeah. Because
he's wanting to take on Terence Crawford. He didn't even want to fight Yuriorkis Gamboa. Remember
exactly.
that whole bullshit that he put us through? Yeah. You know, he kind of did the same thing. He offered Yuriorkis Gamboa a ridiculous ass offer that you had no choice but to refuse. Yeah. And then Gamboa was like, yeah, let's do it. And then Mikey was like, oh shit, this nigga actually accepted it. Yeah. So then he gave us all these fucking excuses for why he can't fight Gamboa. The fact that he's willing to fight the guy that beat the shit out of the guy that he didn't want to fight, that says a lot right there, B. Exactly. That says a lot. All right, next topic. Roy Jones Jr.
Y'all must have forgot.
That nigga's song was so... I love Roy. Like I said, I actually met him. We played ball together. He actually, when I was trying out to play overseas, he was on the opposite team that I was playing against. He was actually guarding me. He loves to talk. I'll tell y'all that right now. He was talking the whole time, so much so that I had to be like, nigga, I didn't say this, but 2K to God translation, I was like, nigga, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to make one of these teams. Stop fucking talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
But he's a very nice guy. That's why I can't wait to see him retire like he says he will at the end or after he fights Enzo Maccarinelli December 12th. Only problem with that is Roy's chin is very questionable. I mean, it was questionable after Tarver too, obviously. Yep. The older he's gotten, it's gotten even more fucking questionable.
Oh yeah.
And Enzo Maccarinelli is a very hard puncher. That's what he's known for, knocking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
So if he's truly gonna retire, I hope he plays it safe. I hope he doesn't go in there and try to slug with Enzo Maccarinelli and get knocked the fuck out. I don't want to see him get stretched the way I saw him get stretched against Denis Lebedev. That's not something I want to see.
Nah.
What's your take on that, B?
I'm with you. I definitely hope this is Roy's last fight.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't even have to go out there and do anything amazingly crazy, like you said, brawl with him or anything like that. Just go in there, give it your all, bow out gracefully, and you know, just let us put your name down in the history books.
Yeah.
You know, I think Roy is, the more he fights, and he hasn't lost recently, but when he was losing, it was kind of tarnishing Roy's legacy.
Right.
You know, and it was making people kind of look at him differently. You know, people started questioning, damn, did he fight anybody that was really good enough to challenge him?
They did. You're absolutely right. Yep.
You know, so that happens. You know, when you don't leave the sport, man, people start to critique your body of work.
Yeah.
And that's something that, you know, I don't want to see happen to Roy anymore, because he's given the sport everything. You know, in his heyday, he was an absolutely unbelievable fighter. He was amazing. A lot of stuff that he did in the ring, a lot of guys, I don't think anybody was doing it.
Hell nah, nobody was doing it.
So, man, you know, let us have those wonder years.
Yeah.
You know, let us go back and you know, watch tape on Roy and just be able to say, man, you know, this dude was incredible. You know, remember that fight? Remember this fight? Remember that fight?
Yeah.
You know, now we're saying, man, do you remember when Antonio Tarver knocked out Roy Jones Jr.? You know?
Yeah. Remember when Dennis Lebedev straight stretched him in the 10th round? Who's he fighting again? Oh, it's automatic now. Roy Jones Jr. and getting knocked the fuck out is synonymous.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's terrible, man.
Exactly. So that's my point, man. You know, let us have those years, man. Let's go. Let us be able to say, man, you remember when Roy beat Montel Griffin? You know, and he just came in there, and you know, the post fight interview when he was talking about his alter ego RJ, and I mean, that's what we want to remember. You know, we want to remember that Roy Jones. Right. You know, man. You know, I'd have killed that kid. You know, I'm glad they stopped the fight, because I'd have killed that kid. You know, when RJ come, I told them they don't want to see him. You know, so you know that's the stuff, man, that I remember and that I loved about Roy. Like I said in one of the earlier videos, I wasn't a huge Roy fan. Yeah. But that was that's what I loved about him, man.
Yeah, some of our viewers remember that statement very well.
Oh, they do, yeah. I probably just killed my whole speech by saying that, you know.
All right, that's what's up. So basically, to conclude on that, Roy, please retire. Please. Please, bro.
Please.
Next topic, and the final one of this segment of What's Hot. I gotta go in, bro.
Steaming.
Yo. Ronda fucking Rousey. Now, some of you have come over from my old channel, and you watch these videos now. And you're very familiar with the roast episode that I had on Ronda Rousey. Yep. Nothing but facts, right? Well, we all know now that Ronda Rousey has graced the cover of The Ring magazine, becoming the second female fighter to do so, the first being Kathy Cat Davis back in 1978, right? As if there hasn't been any other dominant female fighters from 1978 to 2015, right? You got Ann Wolfe, you got Layla Ali, you got Christy Martin, you got Mia St. fucking John. Today, you got Cecilia Brækhus. Hell, even the girl that Ronda Rousey's getting ready to fight next, Holly Holm, was the fucking 2005-2006 Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year.
Wow.
And she still didn't get on the cover.
Wow.
Now, don't tell me it's because she's pretty. Because Layla Ali is a bad motherfucker.
Yep.
Cecilia Brækhus is a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mia St. John, when she was dominating, she was a bad motherfucker.
Yep.
This ain't got nothing to do with that. It's about marketability.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this right, Seth?
Hell no. This is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
To put Ronda Rousey on the front cover of Ring Magazine when you haven't had a woman on the front cover since 1978 is absolute bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Golden Boy must be well, De La Hoya must be really hurting, man. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I just don't see the point in doing this. Now, a lot of people will make the argument, well, you know, it's gonna reach a wider fan base, and you're gonna get what we call, you know, transition fans. You know, fans that will transition over. Well, the thing about mixed martial arts and boxing is the transition factor rarely exists.
Yeah.
You know, the fans are on two totally different sides of the spectrum. You know, we can't agree about any fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, so you may reach a wider fan base, but as far as bringing MMA fans into boxing, that doesn't really happen. You know, I remember I was in the gym one day, and me and a guy were talking about mixed martial arts and boxing, and we couldn't agree on anything.
No,
we couldn't even agree on the striking aspect of boxing and MMA. Right. You know, so I just don't see why. Like I said, the only reason, and you alluded to it earlier, is marketability, which to me is ridiculous as well, because you can market some of the female boxers that we have in the sport right now who are dominating.
They fucking need it, actually. They need it.
Exactly. Ronda Rousey doesn't need any more trumped up publicity than she already gets. She already uses Floyd Mayweather's name as her, I don't want to say claim to fame, because she has done some things in mixed martial arts, but we all know why she uses Mayweather's name, and you know, why she's so gun-ho when she says it. You know, we all know why, and it's for publicity. Yeah. So the fact that you're adding to that and putting her on the front cover of a magazine, that's bullshit. My last point is, you could have did it. If you were gonna do it, you could have did it in a better way. You could have picked one of the, I think Ronda Rousey fights at 135 pounds. You could have got one of the dominant 135-pound fighters, put both of them on the front cover with no words, just a question mark. You know? So that would have confounded a lot of the fans' perspective, and it would have entertained them like, oh shit, is this gonna happen? You know? Yeah. So my point is, you could have if you were gonna do that, you could have at least marketed one of the female boxers as well. Yep. Amanda Serrano is 28-1 with 18 knockouts, Puerto Rican, beautiful girl. Mm-hmm. You know, could have threw her on the front cover. You know, like I said, she's a very good fighter. 18 knockouts for a woman is pretty impressive, and I think she fights at super featherweight or you know, she's a small girl. Yeah. So it's just fucking ridiculous, man. And De La Hoya lost a lot of my respect, you know, for doing something like that. And I think a lot of the boxers were actually offended that he made that move. So it is what it is, though. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a bunch of fucking bullshit, bro. I mean, like we said earlier, female boxing is something that gets absolutely no publicity. And for Oscar De La Hoya to be a guy with his status in the sport of boxing, and he chooses to market a woman from a totally different sport instead of the women from within his sport that he supposedly loved so much that even after boxing he figured that he needed to stay in it and become a promoter, right? Yeah. Why wouldn't you market those women? Exactly. I mean, Cecilia Brækhus she is currently holding all 4 major sanctioning bodies at the welterweight division. Wow. Plus the IBO title. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Gennady Golovkin is trying to do. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That's what Vladimir Klitschko has been trying to do. Shit, what, the last 10 fucking years? Yep. Of course, he didn't want to fight his big brother to do so. But he's still trying to do it even with Vitaly gone. He still hasn't done it. This is something that is not done too often, people. Right? And she's undefeated. She's 27-0 with 7 knockouts. She's beat some of the best female boxers out there. She beat Annie Sophie Mathis, who at one time
was supposed to be the most dominant fighter in the division. She beat her. Okay. She beat Chevelle Hallback, a fucking girl that gives everybody problems in that division. She beat Mia St. John. I mean, what the fuck? Mia St. John is a Hall of Famer in the females boxing.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck does she got to do to get some publicity? You know what I'm saying? But instead, they give it to some female, right, who's fought a bunch of new females in MMA. You know what? I'm going to say it. Ronda Rousey is the Gennady Golovkin of the UFC.
Oh, absolutely.
She's fighting a bunch of girls that everyone fucking perceives before the fight that she's going to beat.
Exactly.
And she's going to beat easily. You understand?
Yep.
So, I mean, if they're going to put on the cover, put underneath her name, fight Chris Cyborg, motherfucker.
Yeah, there we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Shit. That's what you should be doing.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here, man. Like, I hope, man, people are going to buy it because you got a lot of horny ass motherfuckers out there that see ugly ass Ronda Rousey. I'm not attracted to her, not one bit. See ugly ass Ronda Rousey start, you know, they need to go touch their dick for a second. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to have. Dude, that's what you're going to have buying the magazine now because she's on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. There's no fucking, there's no reason for this. There's no explanation for it. Marketability is not enough because you've got women, you've got a sport actually, women's boxing, that needs the marketability very bad. This would have helped if you put Cecilia Brackett's on the cover. Yeah. People would have been in tune, just like with Mike Tyson. He was marketing Christy Martin. He made sure that Christy Martin was on the undercard of all of his fights. He even said at one point that he can't fight unless she fights first. Wow. You see what I'm saying? That type of marketing is what got Christy Martin out there. People were actually talking about Christy Martin. Yep. You see what I'm saying? The Ring magazine is the most popular boxing magazine out there. You put a boxing female who deserves to be on there, who's dominating the sport, on there, people are gonna watch.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Let us know what you think about a lot of the topics that we covered here. We covered a lot of topics in under the amount of time we normally do. So do what you do. Be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.